All right, everyone, so here we go with the next process in setting up your Haas mill to run. So we want to make sure we have all 10 tools properly loaded. We want to make sure our vise is square. And we want to verify, like I said, the proper 10 tools. So what I'll do over here is I want to make sure I have a set of parallels sitting in my vise, like so. This ledge right here should be less than 1/8 of an inch, so less than 0.125. So it's a very small amount, you can see right there. Okay, then I'm going to put my 1, 2, 3 block sitting on those parallels. I don't want it tight. See, I can move it pretty easy, but I don't want a bunch of slop. So just barely tighten it and then back it off a hair. So you should be able to move it relatively easy. All right, we'll start out with tool number 1. In this case, it's our big fly cutter, or our big face mill, sorry. We're gonna go to hand jog. At their hand jog, we're gonna pick 0.01, and then we're gonna pick our Z, and we're gonna bring it down. Now, here's what I want you to do. Don't even get remotely close to the block. Go over here to X, and then move the block well away. Now go back down to Z, and I'll start bringing it down. Now you can go back over to X, and what we're doing is we're getting it pretty close. And what I need to look at right here is how close am I. You can see if I move over, I will actually move the block and hit it, so that's fine. Go back to your Z, and then go back here, and what I want you to do is go positive Z until you can see we are more than high enough. Okay, now there's a bunch of different ways people do this. People use paper, all sorts of crazy things. I'm gonna do something pretty basic. And what I want you to do is rotate this tool so where you have one tooth showing, or one tooth close to the block. And you can see I'm pretty far out. Now, with the block off to the side, I'm gonna take my Z and I'm gonna lower it. And then I'm gonna push my block over. Still doesn't hit. Again, keep your block so it's not under the tool. I'm gonna drop my tool a little more, just a couple clicks. Move it over, still not hitting it. A few more clicks down. Move it over. All right, now I'm touching it. Okay, now you're gonna go positive Z. Okay, until it will slide under. I'm going one click at a time. Still not sliding under. All right, now I barely clear it. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna change my increments to 0.001, so it's 1/1000th of an inch. Now this is kind of a lengthy process. You can see I clear it with the tool not above the 1, 2, 3 block. You're gonna go a couple clicks, 2 or 3, in the negative direction. I don't hit it. 2 or 3 more. Move it, still don't hit it. 2 or 3 more. Move it, still don't hit it. So I was above it quite a ways. I'm going 3 clicks at a time right now. Still, I'm clearing it. Again, making sure you are not above the block as you lower it. Okay, I'm hitting something. And what it is, I'm probably hitting that tooth over here. So let's see. No, it's one of these teeth I'm hitting. We'll try this guy right here. All right, well, I'm still not hitting anything, so I'll go down another 2 clicks and see if I hit anything. Okay, now when I push, I can feel it hit that tooth. I'm barely hitting it. Now go positive Z. Okay, now I barely clear it. If I go negative Z, I hit it. So I'm gonna go positive Z up one more time. So I barely clear this guy, all right? We will fine tune this later, but right now, the top of that cutter is pretty well flush with the top of that 1, 2, 3 block. All right, now I'm gonna come over here. This is where things get kind of complicated. You can see your offset buttons right here. Now when I hit that, you'll notice the white changes. So the bottom one right here, it says work 0 offset. We're not doing our work offset, we are doing our tool offset. So hit this button where it says offset until that's lit up. Okay, now I have number 1, it's lit up, okay, because that's what's in the spindle. Now what I'm gonna do is over here, I'm gonna push the arrow to the right until my geometry is lit up, okay? Now, my tool over there is flush with the top of the 1, 2, 3 block. So right here, I'm going to hit tool offset measure. That 12.2 number will change, okay? Tool offset measure. If I look up here, 11.202. Okay, now that is if our 0 is gonna be the top of the block. Our 0, a lot of times, most of the time, is set up at the bottom, down here on top of the parallels. So we need to tell the machine that the 0 is 1 inch lower than it is now because this block is 1 inch thick. So over here, you'll notice my 11 is lit up, or my number 1 is lit up with the minus 11.2. I am going to type in with that lit up, minus 1.0. And you will see right here, it shows up. And then I'm gonna hit enter. And you will see now that number is minus 12.202. So I have the correct offset for my 0 being the bottom of the 1, 2, 3 block, all right? Close your doors. Go back over to your panel. You're gonna go to MDI. You're gonna go ATC forward. Now I'm at my next tool. I basically gotta do the same thing. I'm gonna, over on the right-hand side, hit handle jog. I'm gonna hit 0.01 for my increments. I'm gonna choose the Z-axis, and I'm gonna start coming down. Be careful to not run this into anything. And again, I'm basically gonna repeat the process. Look, my block goes under it, so go negative a few more clicks. Block still goes under it. Negative a few more clicks. You notice I don't leave the block under it when I go negative. Okay, I'm hitting it. All right, so now I'm gonna go positive 1 click, which is 0.01. Still hitting it. Going up another couple clicks until, oh, there we go. I slide nice and easy under it. Go back over here. Change this guy to 0.001. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do a few clicks negative, maybe 5. Move my block and see if it hits. I'm not hitting. Go negative a few more. Maybe 4, maybe 3. Okay, still not hitting. A few more clicks. Oh, I'm really close. A few more clicks down. Okay, I'm barely hitting. I'm gonna go 1 click up. So that's 0.001 up. Let's see what happens. Nope. Another click up. Okay, I am barely clearing it. So now this is touching the top of that. We'll fine tune it later. Move it out of the way. Go back over to my panel. You will notice tool number 2 is lit up. I'm gonna go over here. Tool offset measure. I now have my new number up there, minus 10.681. But I need to go 1 inch further down because of my block. So I type in minus 1.0. It appears in the input. If you watch it up here, when I hit enter, which is the bottom right-hand corner, you're now minus 11.681. So you're 1 inch further down. So that means tool number 2 there is set up. You are gonna repeat that for all 10 tools. Each time when it's barely touching the top, just barely touching that block, you come over here, tool offset measure, and then using these numbers, minus 1.0 enter, and you'll get your new number up here under geometry for all 10 tools. That will get us started. That way the machine knows how long those tools are sticking out.